Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 massive shifts happening right now in the LSAT world, shifts that are already reshaping who gets top scores, who gets into top law schools, and who gets the biggest scholarship money. These aren't small changes, these are tectonic shifts. And if you're not adjusting, you might feel it on score release day. Now, let's start with the big one. It's LSAT score inflation. A 170 used to be rare, but now a 170 is the new normal among serious applicants. Top law schools are reporting record high LSAT medians. Every T14 law school is now at 170 or higher, and even mid-tier and regional schools are raising their medians. And this is not random, it's happening for 3 very predictable reasons. The first big reason is that more people are prepping seriously. Students aren't just picking up a textbook and hoping for the best. People are doing full diagnostic systems, tutoring, drilling, and personalized study plans. So you are not competing with casual test takers anymore. You're competing with people who've been prepping like it's their job. The second big reason is that extra time accommodations are more common than ever. Whatever you think about fairness, I want you to set it aside because this is just the reality of the scoring pool. The third big reason is that logic games are off the test. But now, the LSAT is more predictable, more preppable, and more speed-based. There is less material to study. With logic games off the test, you can double down on logical reasoning and see a faster boost in your score. And so, as for what you should do, study more seriously, aim higher than last year's medians, and if you want scholarships or T14, aim for a 170 plus. Of course, getting a top score does not guarantee admission, but not having it could shut doors. In other words, it might be necessary, but it's not sufficient. You also want to stop comparing your scores to old Reddit threads because those posts from 2018 are outdated, they're meaningless today. You want to compare yourself only to the current pool of serious LSAT applicants because that's, after all, who admissions is comparing you to. Another big shift is that the LSAT is now online. And that doesn't automatically make it easier, but it does change things. You can now take the LSAT at home or in person at a prometric testing center. And they both have their own trade-offs, of course. If you're taking it at home, it's more convenient, there's no commute, and it's a more familiar environment. Some cons, though, are that there could be more tech issues, more internet connectivity problems, the proctors freeze, or they lag, or they interrupt you in the middle. Your neighbor might run a leaf blower and make some noise. And the biggest one is that a proctor interruption at the wrong moment can destroy your performance. So if you want to avoid these issues, or at least the proctor issue, if the remote proctor interrupts you, ask them to pause the clock. They will not volunteer this, they don't even know what the LSAT is, but you've got to advocate for yourself. If you're taking it in person at a testing center, the benefits are that it's more controlled, fewer tech issues, no roommates interrupting you, and it's a more stable environment. However, you might have less flexibility. You've got to travel there, and you lose the benefit of your own home setup being more comfortable. Regardless of what you choose, you want to prep the exact same way you're going to take the test. If you test at home, practice at home on your real device. If you take it in person, simulate that environment as closely as possible. Maybe take the LSAT for a practice test at a library or a coffee shop where there's some ambient noise and other people around. You also want to use LSAC's Law Hub platform because that replicates the exact interface you'll see on test day down to the font, the line spacing, the color scheme, the functionality, the software. No third-party platform looks the same. Now, if tech issues worry you, just go in person because that can give you more peace of mind to know that you're not going to have a remote proctor. Now, another big change that we should talk about is that generic LSAT prep is dead. 10 years ago, you could take a random prep book, drill some questions, and land in the 160s, but that's not enough anymore. The LSAT's become more competitive. Too many people are prepping more seriously. There's too much high quality information online. And so the students who win are the ones who use precision in their prep. That means you know exactly which question types cost you points. You know which sections drain your energy and why. You drill with intention and review in depth, not just doing a high volume. And you don't just hope it clicks, you make it click through your analysis. And so if you're aiming for a top score, your approach can't be to do 20 questions today. It's got to be something like, I'm doing only flaw questions, only from published recent exams on Law Hub, meaning exams say 150 to 158. You're tracking your mistakes and fixing the underlying weakness. And that level of detail is what separates a 165 from a 170 or a T20 from a T14. and it separates getting no scholarship money from getting a full ride. So everything I've been talking about here, score inflation, online testing, the removal of logic games, these are not minor adjustments, and these are massive structural shifts. And the students who thrive in 2026 and beyond will be the ones who adapt early, build a system, and stay disciplined, not the ones who hope things stay the way they used to be, because the only constant is change. And so if you want the best scores, the best schools, and the best scholarships, the path is simple. You've got to understand the new LSAT format and adapt to it early and take full control of your prep.